What do you prioritize in your life? What's more valuable to you, your possessions or your experiences? I've been on this trip in Peru for the past 2 weeks. Right now I'm in the Ica Desert in Huacachina in Peru. And I've had a ton of amazing experiences the past 2 weeks. And I've purchased very few possessions. And I was just thinking why I prioritize experiences over possessions. And I kind of want to talk about that. Over my trips, when I backpack, I always meet very interesting people. And I'm usually backpacking in countries that have less privilege than mine in Canada or the United States. I'm going to other countries in order to experience different people, different cultures, different climates and sceneries and environments and perspectives, lifestyles, life experiences. I want to be around people that are different than me, and maybe we can learn from each other. And when I meet people and they share their perspective, I realize even if our ability to purchase possessions, the type of houses we live in, the cars we drive, the quality of clothes or phones that we have, we can both be happy and share a great experience with each other because we value experiences. I think there's a lesson there that I take to heart. Because the reality is, in my view, it's important to grasp experiences while you can. Because you don't always have them. Right now I'm climbing up this massive freaking sand dune in the middle of a giant ass desert, little oasis over there. I'm in good shape. I like to say my cardio is right, my my calf strength is right to be able to climb this, but most people aren't. They're not climbing this one. This is a big one. No one's here. Everyone's over there. But I'm doing it because I have the experience, I have the ability to experience it now. I won't always have the physical capabilities to experience it. I won't always have the mental capabilities to experience it. It's tough. I'm hot. I'm sweating. My heart rate's high. I'm trying to record a video because I think it's kind of cool and I want to be able to look back on this, and I think it's a good experience to share with you. But I'm not always going to be able to experience this. There's going to be a lot of things in your life that you probably, right now, you'll be able to experience it now, next couple of years, next few years, but will you be able to experience it in the next 10 years? Ask yourself that. A lot of life experiences, or the potential to experience things in life, can be taken away at a moment. At a moment. Possessions, doesn't really matter what age you are. You can always possess something that you want, but experiences are fleeting. Sometimes you only have a very limited window to experience things. Whether it's me right now where it's like, I'm leaving this town in a few hours. I want to experience this because I have a few hours to experience it. Some things in life, you'll have a few years, a few decades. But some things you don't know when they're going to be taken away. When I've been scuba diving. I got my scuba diving license a few years back. That's something that most people, depending on their life circumstances and experiences, they may not be able to do. It takes a certain level of lung capacity, a certain level of willingness to get uncomfortable that often might dissipate as you age, because it's a whole underwater world. The contrast between talking about underwater worlds and being in a desert. But yeah, and the thing I think people don't think about is sometimes your opportunity to experience something can be taken away without your awareness through things like anxiety. When I was within my first few times scuba diving, I almost drowned, almost died, because I ran out of oxygen in my oxygen tank while being 40 feet underwater. 40 meters underwater. 40 meters underwater. Oh shit! Look at this. You gotta look at this. Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh man, you're seeing it with me for the first time. But yeah, I almost drowned underwater. Wasn't paying attention to my oxygen levels. I was breathing erratically. I was too inexperienced, and I lost oxygen like 15 minutes before everyone else. So my instructor didn't know. And when I signaled to her that I was low on oxygen, she didn't quite get it. So I had to swim to her, grab her secondary adapter for breathing, and got to the point where I was sucking. I was like, and I wasn't getting no air. It's like sucking. It's like trying to drink out of an empty water bottle. Anyways, that experience I recovered from. I continued to scuba dive, but that could have been traumatizing. It could have given me anxiety, post-traumatic stress disorder, and I might have never have wanted to go in water again. Certainly not scuba dive again. That's a high possibility. And you know, things like that can happen in life where you experience something without being aware of it. And when you experience that thing, man, this is so. Look at this. When you experience some things, it might take away your mental capability to do that thing anymore. So grasp experiences while you can. Sometimes we take for granted, especially in Canada and America, that we have certain freedoms, that we have certain capabilities and privileges. And then other countries, those things that we view as privileges or rights, human rights, they don't have that. So if for nothing else, experience things while you can, knowing that other people in the world can't experience it. Not just because they don't have money for it, but because they don't have the freedom. They have governmental, political restrictions. And we take for granted in Canada and America and certain countries in the world, the freedoms that we have. We think our government can't be corrupted, that the laws of the land will always protect us. And it's not true. It can be taken away at any moment. And I don't take that for granted. I do not take that for granted. I also don't take for granted that I can die at any moment. Experience things while you can. Everyone thinks that if the expected lifespan of a certain country is 75, then they'll live to at least 75. Nah, you might live to 35. I might die tomorrow. I might die right here. I might fall down this path, choke on sand, still falling and suffocate. You know, like, not to be morbid, but the truth, it's the truth. You know, I'm here in Peru, as I said, and I'm taking an opportunity to be here as part of my enjoyment of living in experiencing different places, because I want to improve my Spanish. I want to be able to expand my mind, to be able to communicate with millions and millions of more people, the potential to communicate with them. And it's not always going to be there. And it's certainly not there if you don't learn the language. To me, that adds to my experience. I buy possessions often when they add to my experience. Otherwise, I'm very frugal and minimalist and slow to make decisions on buying possessions. I bought a few pants this trip. And the only reason I bought these pants is because the two pants I brought, they got some big holes in the crotch. So I was kind of forced to buy them because they were giving me a bad experience. So by buying possessions, it improved my experience. Now I can walk up the desert without getting sand all on my pants and feeling a draft up there, if you know what I mean. If you've been following me on Instagram, I've been sharing my whole experience here in Peru every day, just showing all the things I've been doing, all the things I've been seeing as I'm experiencing them. Because I know some people right now don't have the ability to do what I'm doing right now. This is crazy. This is crazy. Whether it's age or financial limitations or comfort limitations. And I want to share that experience. This whole YouTube channel is just about me sharing my experiences, often through my perspectives that are a result of said life experiences. And you know, the truth is, experiences are the spice of life. When people talk about like time is moving too fast and life is short, the way to lengthen your experience of life is novel experiences. If you do the same routine every day for 3 months, you're gonna look back on that period a year from now and it's gonna be a flash. But if in that 3-month period you have 10 novel experiences, doesn't have to be expensive, doesn't even have to cost money, just novel experiences. Maybe you go do a hike by the river. Maybe you go kayaking. You know, that's inexpensive. Maybe you go bowling because you never went bowling before. Maybe you go to a local conservation area in your town. Maybe you go volunteer, right? Maybe you go to one fancy restaurant every 3 weeks with your partner. Maybe you take your kids to a bouncy indoor like bounce zone thing. I don't know. But if you find ways to add novel experiences into your life, it will expand your experience of your life. And you have those memories to last with you forever. So many ways experiences can add to our quality of life. It's probably far more than we can ever truly comprehend. We know what possessions gives us. Fleeting moments of enjoyment. You get a new phone or a new car and it feels nice for a few weeks and then it becomes normal. But experiences, it's hard to normalize new experiences because by nature, by definition, they're new. They're experiences. And you know how people always say money can't buy you happiness? For the most part, that's true. But the loophole is money can buy you happiness when the money is spent on experiences. That's the trick. Every experience I invest in, it contributes to my overall joy and happiness for the rest of my life. It's a cumulative effect. It compounds. But if you spend money on 50 amazing experiences in a 10-year span, you'll find that as a result, you're probably a bit happier. Assuming everything's right on the inside and you've done the inner work for yourself and you're at a place of balance in your life, if you put money into experiences, I assure you, it'll increase your joy and happiness. Because life is nothing but an experience. This thing right now I'm doing, this being conscious, it's an experience. Everything in life is nothing but an experience. And then when you put money into individual novel experiences, it gets kind of meta. It's an experience within an experience. And the more you can do that, the more you can compound experiences, I think the happier you'll be. For example, if you have just living is an experience. And then if your home life, if you're with a partner you love, maybe children you have that you love, that's another experience within an experience. And then you go on trips. Now it's like a third degree experience. Like it compounds. And so the more we focus on that, deepening our degree of experience, the happier we'll be. And that's how money can buy you happiness. It can buy you joy. It can buy you fulfillment if you spend it intentionally and consciously. During my time here, some people have messaged me saying, once you have a mortgage, you won't be able to take trips like that because you'd be so focused on putting your money in the mortgage. It's like, well, dude, I don't have a mortgage or a house intentionally because I don't feel like I'm in a place yet where I'm comfortable doing that. I live below my means, so I'm not willing to buy an expensive house to be a slave to debt. Some people message me saying, wow, that's amazing. Enjoy it now. You won't be able to enjoy it when you have kids. Well, I'm not having kids. It's an intentional decision that I made for various reasons, but probably because I want to enjoy these experiences while I can. Sure, you can do that when you have kids, but it's my decision not to. And people use their decisions in life as an excuse for why they can't make other decisions that they want to make. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Some people message me saying, wow, thanks for sharing, it's amazing. You're so lucky. I wish I could do that. It's not luck. I made a decision. It was intentional. And it's not expensive. Anybody can do it. People often say things like that. They say like, oh, the experiences that you partake in, I wish I could do that. You're lucky. This trip to Peru, the flight was about $500 or $600 round trip. $600 round trip Canadian. So if you're American, that's like $450. So $600 round trip. The hostels each day that I stay in cost anywhere between like $8 to $20, and any good meal of food costs maybe $4 or $5. Extremely inexpensive. The money is not the hard part for most people, I think. The hard part for a lot of people with experiences is just making the decision to do it and putting in a little bit of work to get uncomfortable, to learn how to navigate taking a flight here, booking a hostel there, taking a bus there. It's the organization part where they're uncomfortable with. And I just say, go for it. Is it not worth the experience? Some people look at the videos and they say, oh, I wish I could do that. So do it. If you want to do it, do it. It's not that difficult. It just takes a little bit of effort, a little bit of desire and focus. If experiences in life are not worth it to you, to get out of your comfort zone, put yourself in a little bit of challenging or hard situations, then what is worth it? If your life and your experiences are not worth it, what is worth it? I don't know. I can't understand that. I can't. My mind doesn't work that way. For me, if something is valuable, it's worth the effort to get it. If it's not valuable, if it's not prioritized, if it's not something that is seen as important, then it's easy to not do it. So I don't really get some people's perspectives sometimes. And the mind doesn't always last. Our mind often deteriorates as we age. And right now I have the mental capabilities. Quiero aprender nuevos idiomas ahora mismo. Porque un día tal vez no puedo. Mi mente no puede. Me encanta la vida. Me encanta experiencias. Comida, culturas. I love life and I want to experience more of it. I want to continue pushing myself and experiencing new things. We see often, sometimes our parents or grandparents, we see their ability to comprehend or process start to slow down. And we think that might not never happen to us. Or we wait too long and we don't realize it's happening to us. I want to really drill in the fact that the real reason experiences are so beautiful compared to possessions is because experiences, as soon as I plan to do something that's an experience, whether it's going to a new country or just going to a local museum, from the moment I've confirmed I'm going to do that, my spirit lights up because it's looking forward to it. Maybe for weeks, maybe months when it comes to traveling. And then when I'm actively participating in that experience, all of a sudden, it fires at its peak. And I'm loving it, right? Same thing happens with possessions when you buy the thing, when you get the thing. But unlike possessions, after the experience is done, you still have that mental catalog of the experience we call memories. And I can reflect on that and find enjoyment. All my trips I've ever taken, all my major experiences I've ever taken, when I think about it, my mind lights up. When I went to Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Thailand, Jamaica, Grenada, probably forgetting some here, Cuba. I have the whole mental catalog from each one categorized. When I'm alone and I reflect on it, it brings so much joy to me. You know what doesn't bring joy to me? When I had the iPhone 5 10 years ago or whatever. When I was driving like my first car, the car doesn't bring value to me anymore. It's come and went. But experiences last forever. I'm 32. If by 40 years old, I've traveled to 15 countries, I've continued this philosophy and invested in experiences, if I find myself on a deathbed at 40 years old, I won't mourn. I'll celebrate my own life because I've put so much time into my experiences. I don't have a lot of regrets. But if I focus on possessions now and I kept on putting things off and said, I'll travel later, I'll experience things later, I'll invest my time, money, energy, focus into those experiences later. If I'm on my deathbed at 40, I'm gonna mourn. I'm gonna mourn for the life not lived. And I guess that's the message I want to share with you. Focus on experiences. This whole trip I've been posting on Instagram just to inspire people, hopefully. And if nothing else, show them some cool things along the way. And so, yeah. On top of a desert oasis. Man. It goes forever. Like, just seemingly forever. Nothing but shit. You don't see any, there's no shrubs out here. No shrubs, no rocks, no animals, no, unfortunately a little bit of plastic. But other than that, no humans out there, no buildings, no dwellings, just dry ass sand. Going home in a couple days, ending my 2-week trip. Just wanted to make this little video for y'all. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for sharing the journey with me.